else. So I was able to really get into my zone in the sense because I wasn't bogged down by, you know, all the crazy technology and all the fancy stuff that you do see in the movies, although they do help, but I feel as though that you really don't need all those things to get going in your career.
Yeah, you know, I mean, sometimes simpler is a little bit better too. I mean, it's sometimes I think I was just talking to somebody else, another nomad, another nomad artist. Strangely enough, he was talking about, you know, overproduction and sometimes overthinking stuff and overthinking, you know, maybe putting too much into a song, you know, and sometimes you have to kind of strip it back to some of the sum of its parts, as it were.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes simpler is just simply better.
Honestly, yeah. But the feeling is definitely always a great feeling. Any studio that I go into, it's just kind of a like, is this real life situation, you know? And it's like I'm making my dreams happen with every step that I take, you know. And it's just kind of a great fulfilling feeling, you know. And it's like once you're in that kind of mood and that zone, it really doesn't matter where you are.
And going into this new album, what, you know, I think it's somewhat important to think about the order of the songs, or, you know, how you you know, put the tracks on the list and how people listen to it. Obviously, you're doing the whole album in concert. I'm assuming you're doing it in track order. Kind of tell me a little bit about that process.
Yes. So Sorry in Advance is an EP that I'm releasing 2 songs. The first song is called Playa, and I talk about basically how the world is seen and how rappers portray certain things that they glamorize, but the outside world doesn't really understand why they're glamorizing it, you know, throughout the kind of behind the curtains things. And then the next track is the one that I have a feature with my little brother, Sweet D, the OG, called Soul Freestyle. So that one is kind of another personal but uppity song where you can kind of just sit back and really dive into the lyrics. I didn't want to bog my audience down with a hook or a chorus because I feel as though get played out. Like, although that they are catchy, I feel as though that the verses are really the story of the song. I wanted to emphasize that in that song as well. So that's kind of why I did that. And then I called it Sorry in Advance because I was taking a spin on trying something new and was adding in a melodic section in the beginning that some will like and some may not, you know, but it is what it is. And it kind of wraps everything in together, like how some people are kind of only will listen to a song because of somebody's voice, but they won't understand the lyrics on what they're saying, and vice versa. So I kind of wanted to attack that point as well in my songs. So it kind of all wraps in together as one.
Yeah, and really, I mean, talk a little bit, you know, going on to a performance, or more importantly, this album, obviously, you know, putting a certain song in a certain position in the album, or, you know, kind of the order of the album that you wanted. I mean, you know, that thought process. I mean, you know, obviously, you kind of want to get them drawn in, you know, early on in the album, you know, bring in some really cool stuff in the middle of it to keep them going, and then, you know, finish strong. I mean, tell me a little bit about your thought process there.
Yeah, so I've been bouncing around a couple songs to really think about which ones I should release, because it has been a little bit since I have put out some music. So I wanted to really grasp my audience's attention, like to let them know that I'm still here and I'm still making music, just that things have kind of slowed down due to the COVID issues. But I'm still here and I'm still going to be providing them with all the great music and all the great ideas that I have. And then I ended up deciding on these songs because of the 90s feel that the beat gave me, because it brings kind of like that childhood memory for me. And I know it will for a lot of my fans. And then the second song was another song that was kind of like my day one type goal, kind of being released out into the world and just really talking about some real topics, not just kind of nonsense, that everybody can dance around to, but still provide context, as well as a great beat and a great production.
Have you had the opportunity to come out here to Vegas at all?
Actually, that's funny you say that. I'm planning a trip to go out there. I believe the 9th to the 11th. I will be trying to go out there, trying to see the McGregor fight, and then we'll be hanging out for the other days.
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, there's so many, like I said, we're kind of waiting on some of the clubs to kind of open up. And once those open up, then I'm pretty sure some of the artists are going to be starting rotating through. So hopefully you'll be able to maybe perform out here, instead of just being a tourist, as it were. So Fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, definitely. I want to be able to perform in every crevice of the world. So definitely Vegas is on the list for a performance place.
Now, where can people find you on social media?
On social media, my name is Nomad N3lson. If people are having Instagram. I'm also on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Tidal, TikTok, as well as my name on those platforms is Nomad N3lson, and that's Nelson with a 3, not an E.
And make sure you guys check out, sorry in advance, the music is out wherever you get your music as well. And hopefully, like I said, you'll start touring out here a little bit as well. And, enjoy yourself while you're out here in Vegas.
Yeah, no, definitely will. And I would love to have like a follow-up interview in the future, kind of like a progress interview to, see like day one where we were, and then kind of down the line where we are now.
Definitely. Once that new music comes out, we'll definitely keep in touch. Best of luck to you coming up this summer, and we'll, once some of the new music starts rolling out, we'll get you back on.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks a lot, Nomad, for being on the show.
All right. Thank you for having me again. Really do appreciate it.
Make sure you like and subscribe of any of your podcast catchers. Our home, Spreaker.com, also on multiple platforms, including iHeartRadio.com. You guys can check out weekly episodes. We have 2 episodes a week, usually Mondays and Wednesdays, so make sure you guys check that out as well. You guys can subscribe to us, like I said, and any of your podcast catchers as well, and check us out on social media at SWIV, and Somewhere in Vegas on Facebook. Also check us out on Instagram at SWIV Podcast. That is SWIV Podcast. With that in mind, we'll talk to you guys next time here on Somewhere in Vegas.